dancing, bro. They straight, you shake.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults, as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say. Viewer discretion is advised.
Late nights, same chair, same ground, right there. Turn it on, lean in close. This that. Welcome to the Mark, the mentor show, where the plans turn real and the hustlers grow. Talk money, talk mindset, talk get it, let's go. If you came from the bottom, it's the road you know. It's the Mark, the mentor show. Every loss, every lesson, turn it all to gold. From the late night notes to the sold out goals. Say the name one time so the whole world know.
Whoa, the Mark, the mentor show. Whoa, the Mark, the mentor show. Whoa, the Mark, the mentor show.
The Mark, the mentor show.
Check. Can y'all hear me now? Is that better? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? All right. Let's start over. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you guys click the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Hit the like button. I'll see why we lost a lot of people. It was some 40-something people in here. Y'all couldn't hear me. All right, well, make sure y'all click the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. There's a lot of shit going on back here. And it's just me, so a lot of buttons, just shit everywhere, big dog, you dig what I'm saying? So sometimes we get little issues and shit. All right, so boom. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Let me see. Kelvin says it's his birthday. Happy 44th birthday. So Kelvin is a long-time watcher of the channel. So we're going to give him a little birthday. Happy birthday, big dog. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. Be safe out there. You know, thank God for 44 years. You dig? And you from the crib. So we got
The Chicago, nigga.
You dig? And you already know how it is coming out the crib. You made it, big dog. You made it. And you from Henry Horner. You made it, big dog. You weren't supposed to make it past 21. You made it, big dog. So you got a lot to be thankful for, man. Make sure you thank God at some point today. You did what I'm saying. Shout out to Roger Lacey. Shout out to all the MGM gang members. Shout out to Jervell Williams, just became a member. Listen, shout out to all the MGM gang members. We got the biggest gang membership community in this space. By far. For real. No cap. No Kaepernick. No Kaepernick. I'm not just saying it because it's the MGM. I'm being honest. Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to all the moderators in the building. Shout out to D Block representing that MGM thing. Shout out to Slick Turbo in the building. Ooh, hold on a second. I don't like the way this shit. All right. Shout out to Slick Turbo in the building. Shout out to Ben Uzi. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. Shout out to 608. 608 say he made a 1K this morning off my multi-apps in 7 hours. A key. Okay, he trolling. He cracking jokes. Oh, and my costs were only 20. Yeah, he cracking jokes. Let's see who else we got. CTR Logistics in the building. MGM gang member. Shout out to Ty in the building. Shout out to who else we got? Shout out to Chris P in the building, representing DFW. We got a bunch of people saying they can't hear me. We got that shit together. Shout out to Moving Company Hustle in the building. Shout out to Police MGM gang. You said still not working? Y'all still can't hear me? Mark jamming. Okay, yeah, y'all hear me. Yeah, we good. All right, bet. All right, so boom. Now let me go scroll past all the we can't hear you. All right, shout out to Beats in the building. Shout out to ARS Sereno in the building. Shout out to Luffy. Shout out to everybody that's wishing Kelvin a happy birthday. All right, bet. No, okay. All right, bet. All right, bet. Shout out to Eddie Kim in the building. Can y'all hear me? Some people saying audio is great. All right, maybe y'all have to go out and come back in because I'm seeing the feed. Some people saying it's good. I see people leaving. So I don't know. Can y'all hear me or y'all can't hear me? Yo, checking in from Middle America. Here this guy go from a town of 54,000 people. Listen, and he an MGM member. Listen, we don't discriminate. We not racist over here. We don't discriminate. Anybody can get it. I'm an equal opportunity smoke giver. Anybody can get it. We not racist on this channel. You did. So yeah, you came at the kid, so we had to J down on you. And it wasn't personal, but you should have, fell back, stayed in your lane, pimp. You did. All right, shout out to who? We got another MGM gang member. Shout out to Vic in the building. Oh, we got a button. D Block. All right, boom. Check it out. So boom. This show's starting off kind of a little rocky, but it's all good. It happens from time to time. So check it out. Last night, I know I'm a little late, man, because I woke up late because I did the late night show last night. First of all, let me say happy Black History Month to all my brothers in the build, my brothers and sisters. Happy Black History Month. I meant to say that yesterday, but it kind of slipped my mind. So happy Black History Month. We got, a short 28 days to celebrate Black History Month. Last night, I did a late night, and we went over Uncle Tom. The reason why I wanted to do that is because, just ever since I've read the book, I've always seen and heard people just misuse the term Uncle Tom from the character, right? If you read the book, you would know that Uncle Tom was the hero. He was a devout Christian, and he was a person that didn't like violence against other slaves, and he ultimately died as a martyr, defending and protecting other slaves. He couldn't inflict pain on other slaves, and he died because of it. He was the hero in the book. I never went back to do the research on how we derived to what people think Uncle Tom is today. I've always just corrected people and directed them to read the book so that they could know the true story of Uncle Tom. And I was in the Discord, and I think I was talking to Rich, and I said, I'm going to research to see how Uncle Tom went from being a hero to what people use it for today as like a derogatory term towards another black person, as far as being like, oh, coon or, ass kisser to white people. And in my research, because the character was so pure in the book, what white people did back then was they took that character and they purposely distorted it. What they did was they did what was called Tom shows. And they distorted the character, and they made him out to be this ass kisser. And then towards white people, and then just, somewhere just as time went on, this was pushed more than the original story, and then we got to where we are now. And people just don't go back and do their research. So once I realized that there was a movie made, I wanted to react to that. And what I'm going to do is, for the rest of the month, Black History Month, I'm just going to react. I'm going to try my best to just react to, things that are pertaining to Black history. I don't know if they still teach Black history in school. It seems like we kind of got away from it. But I'm going to do my part. It was hard to sit there last night and watch that shit. I read the book. The book was way more graphic and harsh. It focused a lot more on his Christianity. Some of the slave, beatings and things like that, and the harsh, just verbiage and shit like that in the book was just way more harsh than the movie. The movie was definitely watered down, but it still was a good depiction. It got it right, and it was kind of hard to sit there and watch it. We actually watched the whole movie last night. I was going to kind of scroll through it, but since I never saw the movie, I didn't know what to scroll to, because it's a movie, so it's a little bit different than the book. So we sat there for an hour and 45 minutes, and we watched it. I didn't expect many people to come in, and we people like ignorant shit. People are going to be more inclined to click on something more ignorant than something that is educational. So I was surprised that 30 people sat there. On average, it was about 27 people. It held at about 27 people. We got up to like 32, 33 people, but it kind of held at like 24, 25, 26, 27 people. And I was surprised. I wasn't expecting no more than 10, maybe 15 people. And, to those people that sat there and watched that through with me, I appreciate you. And it was a tough watch. It's different from reading the book. So it was parts where, I got angry. You could probably see it in my face. It was some points where, motherfucking little water got in the eye, but I think it's important that, we don't forget about Black history, So every late night I do this month is going to be, something pertaining to Black history. So shout out to everybody that sat there with that, through that with me last night. It wasn't many of you, so I appreciate the people that did. All right, and I'm glad that the people that did watch day after the movie, there were some people that said, "Man, Mark, thank you for letting me know this. I didn't know this. I did not know that this was the true story of Uncle Tom, because the character has been distorted to, what it is. Oh, you old Uncle Tom, you Uncle Tom, you ass kisser, you bootlicker. Nah, Uncle Tom was far from that. Uncle Tom died a hero protecting Black people, So shout out to everybody that sat there and watched that with me last night. I'm glad you learned something. All right, so come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification. We got some 50-something people here. We got 28 likes, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification. Today, we want to talk about lifestyle. Big reason why a lot of people have an issue coming into business. Doesn't even have nothing to do with box truck, just business in general. And I think Beats mentioned this in the chat yesterday, so I thought it would be a good segue from the topic yesterday. So when I saw him put it in, Beats, you've been coming up with a lot of good topics lately, so appreciate that. So I said we'll just do that one tomorrow because I'll mess around and forget. So I want to talk about why lifestyle choices matter before you start your business. A lot of people, they don't necessarily just fail in business because the idea was bad or like we talked about yesterday, they don't know their cost per mile. They fail because their lifestyle isn't compatible with the startup phase. And this is something we've talked about before. You've been watching the channel for a while. You've seen me have a knockdown drag out a couple years ago with a guy who was just misinformed, just misunderstood, based on, I wouldn't, a lot of people say it was envy and jealousy. And I try to, I try not to put that jacket on people, even though I know I should. But with this particular guy, and y'all know who I'm talking about, I just attribute it to ignorance based on some of the things that he said, and he didn't realize that life is about choices and decisions. Business does not start with profit. It starts with pressure. You're under pressure. If your personal lifestyle can't absorb the pressure, your business will most likely collapse before it has time to grow and mature. I think another good case study we recently saw was the guy who I showed yesterday during the monologue. He was living a life of rally at the beginning stages of a trucking business and a car rental business, and he admitted to traveling more and dating a woman and so on and so forth. So today I want to talk about lifestyle choices before you start the business. And this may be a little touchy to some people. You've seen me talk to people before when they've come up. While understanding your living expenses is very important, and it's a non-negotiable when you're coming into business, right? And even while you're in business, especially at the beginning. And why managing those expenses early is the difference from survival and failure. You hear me say a lot, you're robbing from the sustainability of the business. And this is what I'm alluding to when I say that. Let's look at it like this. You got rent, you got mortgage, you got car notes, you got phone bills. Everybody has a cell phone bill. You got subscriptions. Everybody has subscriptions now. You got groceries. And look. Let me give this disclaimer too. Because I've had a conversation, like I was talking to one of my homies and I was talking in the Discord. This is pertaining to people who don't have supplements. Like I'm not talking to, because I think a lot of people who watch, I'm gonna keep it a buck, Big Mark gonna keep it a thin now wow with you, who may live off of like Section 8 because your wife or your girl or your baby mama may be living in Section 8, so you living with her, or you getting Link, EBT, SNAP, whatever they call it. We call it Link here. I ain't really talking to you. You ain't gonna never understand. You ain't gonna get it. You low income. You ain't really living 100% off the muscle. And this is where I think the shit gets fucked up at. And this is why I think a lot of those people, they go argue and they say, yeah, you can do it. Nah, you feel like you can do it because you getting assistance and you never want to get away from that because that's what you're accustomed to. I'm not talking to you. Nothing against you, but you're not the individual that I'm talking to. I'm talking to individuals who getting it 100% off the muscle. 100% off the muscle. All right? So let me put that little disclaimer before people get their little panties. You know, people like to get their panties in a bunch. You know, they be on their period and shit like that. You dig? I'm not talking to you. So groceries, debt, habits, whatever your vices are. People have vices. Whether it be you smoke cigarettes, you smoke weed, you know what I'm saying? You do other type of, drugs. You're a weekend warrior. You know, you may drink. You know, it's people that come home and they can't come home without stopping at the liquor store and getting a 6-pack. Some people got to drink beer every day when they come home to unwind. Some people gamble. You know, whatever your vices or your habits are, that shit sits on top of your business too. You know, as well as the expenses that it costs to run the business. If you're still building this bridge as it pertains to business, you can overload it with too much and it could collapse. And we see this happen with so many people. I've seen it happen with so many people that come into this business and they never account for their outside expenses. I don't know if it's because they've been sold this dream that once they start the business, it's going to, cover the cost of their living. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why people don't think about this prior to coming in, but they don't. Two people can start the same business, and we're going to use NW Lou is just a great case study. He doesn't watch the channel anymore because I don't see him in the chat, but we always have to use him as a case study because he made the perfect case study. Two people can start the same business, the same opportunity, and get two completely different outcomes. Now, what we saw with NW Lou was a lack of accountability based on the choices and decisions he made. And then you saw what was envy and jealousy that was spewed. There's a lot of envious and jealous people out here. And they get upset because they do something, the same thing that somebody else does, and the other person gets a different outcome. His plight or his argument was, I got kids. Now, this is going to be a little tough. Some of you going to get upset, but you're not going to understand. That's a choice. That's a choice. You can't get mad at the next person because they may have started at the same time as you and you have more expenses. You got kids. That's a choice. Another thing he said, oh, well, I got kicked out the house at 19. That was your mother's choice. So if you're starting this business and you're living on your own and you got to support children, a multitude of children and maybe a multitude of baby mamas and women, and the person who starts the same business at the same time is still living at home and they don't have the responsibilities that you have and they can pour more back into the business, it's just what it is. They have a lower cost of living than you do. So they're, the probability of them being more successful is higher because they're able to invest more back into the business. And then you end up robbing from the sustainability of the business because you have to, what we hear a lot of people say when they come up on this channel, when we go through the numbers, I don't really take the time to go through the numbers with people like I used to. It's because it's too time consuming and it's giving me headaches. And I just don't like headaches. So I don't do it like I used to. But those two different individuals, they're going to have two different results. This person doesn't have the bills, the responsibilities, so he can pour more back into business where you can't. So now you have to rob from the sustainability of the business to do what we heard a lot of people say that have come up on the channel, take care of home. Now, I say this all the time. Some people are going to get upset. The business don't give a fuck about your home. It don't. Business cares about the business. That's it. The business is money hungry. That's it. It's your job to build a successful business so that it can pay you enough so that you can take care of your home. If you have a exorbitant cost of living coming into business, your business may not be able to pay you enough at the beginning to cover your current cost of living. If you are transitioning from a job that could cover this cost of living and you're taking a risk going into the business may not be able to cover your current cost of living at the beginning. This is what a lot of people don't think about this. This is why two people who start at the same time, the same layout, could have two different results. They could get two different outcomes. Personal burn rate. That individual got upset with me because he looked at me as an equal. We're not equal. My cost of living when I got started was way less. I understood this very early on. Maybe it's because of my educational background. Maybe it's because I'm smart. I have a high IQ. I'm not ignorant. So even as I grew, I still stayed down and stayed at home and chose to reinvest more back into the business. I went through peer pressure too. My girlfriend at that particular time gave me an ultimatum. I talk about it all the time since I started the channel. I told the same story. It's not a new story. Gave me an ultimatum. I still follow my plan because I did the numbers. I knew that if I fell victim to what her ultimatum was, that was less money that I could pour into the business. So I went with my original plan, and, hindsight 2020, and 13 years later, 14 years later, I made the right decision. If I would have listened to her, the outcome would have been different. She didn't like the fact that I had money and I lived at home. But I was keeping my personal expenses down because it was more important for me at the beginning to pour more into the business. And I made the right decision. Lifestyle inflation is a killer. It's a silent killer. Lifestyle inflation, we see it a lot with people, even just people in business, keeping up with the Joneses. Your expenses rise before your income is stable. A lot of people don't have the discipline. I'm just using case studies that we've seen on the channel. The people that have been watching for a while, remember Zoe? Doing really, really well. Followed my blueprint as it pertained to moving. First or second year became really successful at it, following my blueprint. And what does he do? He goes and buys a Lexus for his BM. Then he had to call back into the show once he realized it was a bad mistake. Because now this Lexus is costing him money and he bought it too prematurely. His revenue wasn't predictable yet. I have a strategy as it pertains to moving. And I talk about it a lot. Talk about it a lot on the channel. When you see me coach these moving guys, talk about it a lot in the Discord as it pertains to building up your customer base. In this industry, 50, 60% or more, depending on how long you've been in the business, year to year, is repeat and referrals. Your income is predictable the longer you're in household goods moving, right? But that's after you build a footprint. He's only a year in. He hasn't built a big enough footprint. He's not like a Mark or a moving company hustle that knows 50, 60% of their business every year is going to be repeat customers. He hasn't been in business long enough to know that yet. So he goes out and he does the dun-to-dun. He has no footprint. A lot of people do that. We saw the guy yesterday in the monologue. They automatically assume that a new business is just, they're going to be winning from here on out. So they go and do the dun-to-dun too prematurely. They go get a bigger apartment because they believe their business is about to take off. They do it too prematurely. It doesn't have to be something as big as those two previous examples. It could be something smaller that adds up over time, eating out more consistently because they believe that they're too busy. When prior, they would cook. Not only are they eating out, they're eating out and they're using DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub. So now they're paying an additional fee on top of the food, and they're paying a higher cost for the food. Most of these restaurants that place themselves on these applications, there's a 30% upcharge to help them cover the cost of what the platform is taking. You go into and I kind of knew it, but I really realized it like last year. Like I stopped in Hoots to get my food one day, and the same thing that I ordered on Uber Eats was like 50%. Like to get a 10-piece dinner here with fries, it was like $40 to order it on Uber Eats. When I just picked it up on the way home one day, it was $22. Like I'm like, damn, it's like damn near 50%. But they charge that 30% markup. And I think it does say it somewhere in fine print on the app, or the store may say the prices you see may be different than if you were in the store. And then, so you're paying 30% markup, and then you're paying the platform fee, and then you're paying a tip. So it does equate to pretty much double once you add all that. Subscriptions, gadgets. What we see now is, these gig apps have pushed convenience on people, and the convenience has replaced discipline. But you're paying for the convenience. I don't use Instacart. I am old school. I'd rather go pick my own fruits and vegetables. I don't trust nobody picking my apples and oranges and shit like that for me. But a lot of people have come to a conclusion that, I can have somebody else do this for me, and now I got more time to do something else. Whatever. But this is still a part of lifestyle inflation. And if you're starting a business, this may be something that you might want to look at cutting. In the early stage of your business, you should not be comfortable. You don't need comfortability. You should always get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I've said this plenty of times before. I haven't said it recently, but I've said it before. You should get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You don't need flexibility. There's no such thing as work-life balance when you're a business owner. And I'm speaking from experience. There's been plenty of times where I thought I was going to leave the office early or at a specific time, and it just didn't work out that way. There's been times where I've had to rearrange or cancel dates or been late for dates. It ain't nothing worse than an angry black woman that's ready to go when she hungry. I ain't bullshitting you now. Listen, an angry black woman, when she hungry and she waiting and you told her 7 o'clock and she waiting, ain't nothing worse than an angry black woman that's hungry. I've been, on vacation and still having to conduct business. I've been sitting at those dinners, Ruth Chris, wherever, and mine somewhere else. No such thing as flexibility. And when you're a business owner, you're on call 24 hours a day. It's your business. Anything can happen. You over the road, guys, you got drivers out over the road in the middle of the night. You may be asleep, but if something occurs, they calling you. You can't just cut your phone off. Early stage of business, you don't need luxury. I've heard people say, look the part, be the part. It's people that feel like, okay, they start this business, now they have to go out and look a certain type of way. They have to drive a certain type of vehicle. They have to dress a certain type of way. They have to live a certain type of lifestyle, live in a specific type of place. It's far from true. People that do that too prematurely, for the most part, they fail. But a motherfucker criticized me for staying at the crib while I built my business. Now, this is the same motherfucker who's on the live stream drinking and can't move his whole ass truck. He's angry because he went out following a trend and is just sitting. Angry at himself, angry at his life, angry at his choices and decisions, but he's making fun of the guy that built a business while staying at home while he did it and tried to downplay me for that. These are those types of people. Life is about choices and decisions. The luxury will come later. Doesn't come at the beginning. We can shit on people later. At the beginning, we too busy building. We don't have the time for luxury at the beginning. We're too busy building. We're too busy working. We're too busy grinding. So when is there time for luxury? We don't even, the money that's coming in, we should be reinvesting that back into the business. But we see people all the time, very early stages. The more money they make, their lifestyle increases. a new business, you need runway. You want margin. You want time. And if the lifestyle consumes your runway, the business will never get a lift. It'll never take off. This goes back to what I always tell people. Robbing from the sustainability of the business. You're taking out of the business to fund your cost of living, your lifestyle. You got to understand your living expenses very, very early on. You have to calculate survival. This is what we call having a buffer. You have to have that buffer for business. You got to have that buffer for your personal life. I've had these debates before. Listen, I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand why people don't understand that if you're going to come into business, especially the guys that I've had these debates with before that like got families and kids and shit, that you should have money 6 to 12 months set to the side to cover your cost of living because you may not be able to pay yourself. I've had people tell me, just all types of dumb shit. Man, Mark, we come from the slums, the gutter. You should know that, man. We got to take these chances and shit like that, bro. I get it. And then I respond, well, what's your risk tolerance? Well, what's that? Well, my risk tolerance or the next person's risk tolerance, who is just them, versus you, your BM, and your 2 school-age children, your risk tolerance is a lot lower, maybe starting without a buffer, than the person who only has to fend for themselves that's starting with not a lot of working capital. They only got to fend for themselves. So if this shit don't work, they could live like a Viking and be fine because it's just them. You got 3 other people that are dependent on you, big dog. You haven't calculated survival. Have you asked yourself the question, how long can you operate before the business pays me? Most people don't ask themselves that question. A lot of people think they're going to come in and day one, they're going to be able to pay themselves. In most cases, that's not true. And even if it is true, a smart business owner will reinvest a lot of that money back into the business to grow. That's what I did. I kept my living expenses very, very minimal, like minimal, just a cell phone bill. And I reinvested majority, if not all, back into the business. I didn't need any money. Nobody asks themselves that question. How long can I operate before the business pays me? And when you don't ask yourself that question, and when you don't know the time frame, it's gambling. Your living expenses, your housing, whether you rent, you own, and everything that comes along with it, from your rent, your mortgage, all the way down to your utilities, your transportation, your car notes, insurance, fuel, your food, your insurance, if you have renter's insurance, car insurance, homeowner's insurance, your debt payment, your credit card bills, and what other debts you have, other personal financial obligations that you may have. And then you need to total that up. And that's pretty much your break-even point of what the business or what you need to pay yourself in order to sustain. And then you have to think realistically. With a new box truck business or with a new cargo van business, be able to pay me this at jump. The first priority when you start the business is for the business to cover itself. The business needs to cover itself first. The business needs to sustain it. Fuck you. And I know that may sound crazy to some of you guys, and if it does, that means you haven't done enough research and you really don't understand business, especially starting out. Now, there's some people that say, I remember me and Costa used to always go back and forth, and he used to always say, the business should pay you first. I disagree with that. We've seen case studies of people that rob from the sustainability of business. Eventually, the business fails. Something's going to get neglected, bro. Especially at the beginning. Like, if you don't prioritize the business, that means your priorities lie elsewhere and the business is being neglected. And if the business, you're starting the business to be your, provider as far as building it to a point of success where it can pay you a livable wage and you're neglecting it, how is it ever going to be successful if you're not prioritizing it? The business needs to be able to cover itself first. If the business can't cover itself, then what are we talking about? The business needs to cover itself first. It needs to become profitable, and then it can pay you. And here's the kicker. It may not be able to pay you what you may need to cover your cost of living. If your cost of living is exorbitant, you may have to reduce your personal cost of living. That's what I'm getting to. You may have to make sacrifices at the beginning. I talk to a lot of guys who are leaving. You hear people call up all the time. You got these guys they're already in logistics. They're company drivers. They're making $125,000, $130,000 a year. The guy that called yesterday was a guy in my Discord recently, Vic. These trucker guys, these OTR guys, I don't know what's going on with them in their brain, but for some strange reason, and the reason why I always ask them the question, like, what do you need to pay yourself? They all say the same number, 70,000. None of these guys know each other from Adam, but they all say the same thing. And you know why they say 70,000? Because that's what their current cost, that's what they need to live. All these guys got families, they got wives, they got baby mamas, they got kids. None of them do what we're talking about now. They automatically associate gross based on what they see on the internet from their favorite content creators with that's what they're thinking they're bringing. That's why the guy yesterday, I said, what do you expect to make? Oh, 107, whatever he said, 170, 200, whatever. I said, no, what do you expect to bring in? Oh, you talking about me personally? Yeah, you personally. Like, what do you expect the business to pay? Oh, 70. And then when I start breaking down the numbers, you've seen the tonality change. It's not realistic. So now we have to talk about sacrifices and lowering your cost. If you want to come into a business making less money than what you're making now, because essentially that's what you're doing. If you're making 125, 130 now as a company driver, as an owner operator, you're going to come in making less than that. You're not going to be able to pay yourself that much. So now if you have a cost of living, right, that you have based on the income that's coming in as a company driver, 125, 130, and you got this cost of living, right? You're going to have to reduce your expenses on the personal side. That's when the tonality starts to change because the reality starts to kick in. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody likes their toys. Everybody likes their Netflix subscriptions and their Amazon subscriptions and, you know, their weekend, you know, trips to the casino or their sports betting on DraftKings and, you know, whatever else. Their house, their apartment, you know, their condo, they trick off bills. It gets tough when you're thinking about, you know, having to reduce that. But that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. And this calculation, it needs to be done before you jump into the water, which we see a lot of people don't do it. Most people do it backwards. They start the business first. They feel the pressure. Matter of fact, you see it all the time when people call up on the channel. YouTube doesn't show them my content first for some reason. Everybody comes here, man, I didn't see you at first. I think YouTube is really smart. The algorithm is really smart. They show them the entry level, sell you the dream shit first. And I guess that's what keeps them coming back. Okay, we'll show them to sell them the dream shit first. And then we know they're not gonna make it. Then we'll show them Mark because they're gonna have to come back. If we give them Mark first, you dig what I'm saying? Once they get all the sauce, then they ain't gonna come back. We gotta get them to come back. So they get all the dream shit first. They get all the shorts and the reels with the $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a week box truck shit. They don't show them Big Mark. They believe that shit. They believe that shit. They come out here thinking they finna run it up. Like you got a lot of these tax motherfuckers right now. They thinking they finna come in with a nickel and they thinking they finna be rich by the summertime. They thinking they gonna be rich by the summertime. As soon as Boo Bay money hit, if it ain't hit already, it should be hitting within the next couple weeks. They gonna run to Penske. Penske gonna stain they goof ass. Penske said we need 900 a week, 30 cents a minute. You dig? They running credit checks and all type of shit now. Y'all heard it when we called them. What do we know? A lot of people that check that they do, they ain't gonna pass that shit. We know it. It's a reason why they doing that shit now. You know why they doing it. So we know a lot of people that check that they talking about. We know a lot of these new entrants that's coming in during tax season ain't getting past that shit. So what they gonna do? Because they thirsty. You already know what they're gonna do. They're gonna pay the 9. They do it every year. They're gonna pay the 9. They're gonna pay the 30 cents a mile because we know they ain't calculating their cost. They weighing that 9 and that 30 cents a mile versus what their favorite content creators showed them in that reel, $9,000 this week. So they said, fuck it, 900 a week, 30 cents a mile. Fuck it, I'm finna be making 10,000. So that ain't shit. We know these motherfuckers don't count. We know it. We see it. So they start the business first off some goofball shit. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and then they feel the pressure. They feel the pressure. We see it all the time, bro. They come calling Big Mark, man, Big Mark. I've been watching you all this. No, you ain't, big dog. Stop lying. You didn't even like me at first. Nigga, you heard the shit I be kicking and you thought I was a hating ass nigga. Ain't this what you said? You said that shit in the comments. You said, oh, this hating ass nigga. Fuck nigga, I'm gonna hate on you for, nigga. You don't even own a truck. Nigga, I got trophy trucks. I got what you need. I'm gonna hate on you for. You just don't like what I'm saying because it's real and you want to be sold a dream. But after you get sold a dream, you get in, you feel the pressure. You start to panic. And you start making these dumbass decisions because now you desperate. You done took Boobay, you took a nickel. Boobay gave you the nickel. We talked about it yesterday. Man over there right now putting in work. That man putting in work right now. Man been putting in work for the past 2 months. Listen, right now in America, it's a man beating a back end right now for her tax money. I swear for God on everything I love, it's a man right now stuffing monkey dick in the bitch. You dig what? Listen. I'm just being honest. It gets a little graphic sometimes. I just have to be honest. I didn't know no other way to say that to get the point across. I had to get the point across now. It's somewhere in America, a motherfucker, you see him and you be like, why is he with her? You know what I'm saying? He could do better for himself, man. This shit don't look right, man. This looks a little awkward. Then you think, wait a minute, it's February 3rd. It's tax time. Oh, man, that motherfucker. That motherfucker buying all types of Cialis and shit on the black market, man. You dig what I'm saying? Because he putting in work. As soon as her tax money hit, she running that shit to him. I ain't bullshitting you. I see them every year. They come on the YouTube every year with their tax money. Man, for them. Starting the box truck business. They ain't calculating no cost, bro. They ain't doing none of that. None of this shit that we talking about, they ain't watching none of this. And this is why they don't get far. This is why they don't get far, big dog. See, when you calculate first, you gain clarity. You deal with reality. A lot of people don't like to deal with reality. They like to deal in fantasy. I don't deal in fantasy, bro. I deal in reality. You know why? Because I live in reality. You know, these motherfuckers on the internet, man, they sell you a dream. But I realized it because the motherfucker had to pull my coattail. A lot of these motherfuckers, they not really living straight 100% off the muscle. It's a lot of assistance out here, assistance and shit like that. So they really don't understand. Man, you already know Boobay on the section. She got 3-4 of them. They giving her like 3 for each kid. So that's what I'm saying. He ain't really living in reality. He living in La La Land. When you calculate, you get realistic expectations. That's why when Buddy came yesterday, he didn't have realistic expectations until he came and hollered at the big dog. And we broke it. We didn't even break all the numbers down. Once I calculated just the average fuel cost in his truck, no shit. It wasn't looking real. His number in his mind that he needed to pay himself wasn't realistic no more. You could hear it in his whole tonality change. His attitude changed. Wasn't realistic no more. When you do the numbers beforehand, it forces you to strategize. And when you strategize, you understand that the strategy, there has to be patience with it because you now understand that shit just ain't finna happen off back. If you don't do this, you're going to be like the guy that we saw in the monologue trying to figure out why shit not working. When you do the numbers at the beginning, from the business side and the personal side, you're going to ask the question, do I have enough to make this work? Those are two different individuals. You don't want to be the person that's in the water saying, why isn't this working? You want to be the person that does everything at the beginning and asks the question, do I have enough to make this work? Most of these guys that come in, they coming in off emotions. I don't even consider them entrepreneurs, but they call themselves entrepreneurs, so fuck it. I just learned to let people just live. So let's call them emotional entrepreneurs. I talk to strategic entrepreneurs. I like strategy. I say it all the time. Listen, you got to have strategy, especially when you're dealing with the money, man. Everything, business, investment, all just in general, whenever you're dealing with investment, you have to have a strategy. You have to have a plan. And you got to stick to it. We've exercised different strategies. We've talked about different strategies on this channel as it pertains to, logistics. We did a whole series 2.5 years ago that a lot of people want me to bring back. That was a members only private thing, investments. My strategy worked. That's why people want me to bring it back. But Rich and them in the Discord said, don't do it. The reason why the strategy worked is because we didn't get greedy. And the smart people followed my lead and we pulled out, and it hasn't gone back since. And that's 2 years removed from it. When I talked about starting my business early, as far as my strategy on how I wanted to remain home and pour majority of the income from the business back into the business, that was my strategy. My girlfriend at the time said, no, you got more than enough money to move out. But my strategy doesn't call for me moving out right now. I still have a goal and I haven't reached it yet. I have to stick to my strategy. I hear what you're saying, but I've already sat down and planned my strategy. I'm not finna leave the crib because you wanna fuck on me outside the goddamn hotel. So we can still go to the Modi. You can just wait another year. I'm just keeping it. Listen, I'm keeping it 1,000 with you. Got to stick to the plan. Got to stick to the strategy. Your expenses dictate your decision making. That's why we see a lot of people rob from the sustainability of the business. They make a lot of desperate decisions based on the cost of the lifestyle that they've made for themselves, especially on the personal side. Remember, the first person we ever heard say that on the channel was Serious Lanes. I think it was one of them testimonials. And then we heard Zoe say it. And then we heard some other people say it. When you have high personal expenses, that forces bad business decisions. it forces a lot of desperation, a lot of desperate decision making. You see a lot of people taking bad, especially OTR guys, they'll take bad loads just to get that instant liquidity. So they can factor it, so they can sell it to their baby mama or sell it to whoever they need to sell it to, the rent person or whoever, whatever bill. They'll just take something so they can factor it and get that instant liquidity. They're not looking at, does it work for the business? They just need something. They just need some cash flow in so that they can factor it and sell it. They cut a lot of corners on the business side that they shouldn't, because they're robbing from the sustainability of the business to cover the high cost of living that they've created for themselves on the personal side, or the cost of living that they have on the personal side that they refuse to lower as a sacrifice for the business. Which ultimately leads to the business folding. Early stages of business is not about winning. Early stages of business is about survival. You go back 2-3 weeks ago, we did the 5 stages of business growth. I don't know if that's still public. I don't know if that's still public or if that's members only, but the early stages of business are not about winning, it's about survival. It's not about flexing. It's not about scaling fast, which we see a lot of people do. Reverting back to yesterday, the guy in the monologue, he did all of those things. He flexed early, he scaled early, he did everything too soon. And both businesses failed as a result of it. Early stages of business is surviving, it's learning, it's mastering and conquering the learning curve. And like I always say, that learning curve is not free. It costs. And depending on how ignorant you are is going to determine how expensive the learning curve is. Mastering your systems. This is what you do at the beginning. And there's some sacrifice that comes along with that, and it's patience. And what we've come to realize, or what I've come to realize, what we've all come to learn is people want instant gratification. They want everything now. They don't. I heard a content creator say about a week ago, I mean, we're in a different just mindset now, but it was something to the fact, well, why do we want to work all these years and, and retire and then live life? Everybody wants everything now. Everybody wants everything instantaneously. And I'm just going to be honest with you. For most people, it doesn't work like that. For majority of people, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. And I know everybody wants to live the life and take trips and wear Louis Vuitton and shit like that, but it's not meant for everybody. Every dollar that you earn at the beginning, for the most part, You know, I'm not even gonna say that, bro. I'm really, you know, I really have to understand there's two types of people that watch this content. Because I was finna say something, but then I had to think. Not everybody is in the same situation. There's two different types of people that watch my content. And I have to, you know, I think there's a demographic of individuals that watch that have a mindset, and it's a poor mindset, and they don't want to change it. And then there's a group of people that watch my content that may not have a poor mindset, or they may have a poor mindset that they do want to change it. And then sometimes when I be up here, it's like I want to say certain things, but I know people ain't gonna get it. Some people just not gonna get it, bro. Then you got a group of people that watch that are not even a part of the culture, and they don't understand the demographic I'm speaking to, how I'm speaking to them, and they just don't understand what I'm saying. I want my people to win. I don't want my people to continue to have this low level of thinking. And it all starts with the mindset. You got people that just think low, so they get low results. That's why they remain poor. I've never been a low thinker, bro. Never. So what I was about to say, at the beginning of your business, I feel like majority of the money, you should reinvest it back into the business. The reason why I stopped is because I know deep down there's a lot of people that are coming into this box truck business that just can't do that. I know a lot of people that's coming into this business are being misled by a lot of other content creators, and they're being sold this dream. I understand that at the very beginning stages of starting a business, it's going to be very tough, and there's a learning curve there. And it's going to cost people. So what I was going to say and why I stopped is I think majority of the money that's coming in at the beginning, if not all, should be reinvested back into the business. That's what I did. But I know that's not realistic for a lot of people. What are you going to do before you start the business to lower your lifestyle so that the business can win, so that you don't end up like so many other people robbing from the sustainability of the business? I also stopped because I don't want to have these debates with people that look like me and they say, oh, Mark, you know we from the struggle. That ain't got shit to do with it, bro. Business don't give a fuck about the struggle, bro. It doesn't, bro. The business does not care that you're from the struggle. It doesn't. So just because you're from the struggle, you make a poor decision. You don't measure your risk tolerance. You don't give yourself a fighting chance. Like, I've had people that have argued with me. I'm like, bro, don't you want to give yourself a fighting chance? I'm just gonna take the risk with nothing. Like I don't. I really don't get it, bro. I don't understand that shit. I don't understand that mindset, bro. I don't understand why people. I just don't get it, bro. Or they say shit like, man, I'll tighten up once the business makes money. Like, what if the business never makes money? What if it never makes money, bro? I've talked to people that have come into my Discord, come up on the channel that the business never made money. We've had people that have come up on the channel, they went through tens of thousands of dollars in a couple weeks. I had a guy last year literally was on the call, on the channel, baby mama at home, newborn baby. He's on the fucking truck. He's in an enterprise truck, and he called me on a call-in show. He had only been in business a month. He had limited startup money. 3,000 of the startup money went to another content creator that he was angry at because he bought this fucking course. I think he had like $6,000 to start. $3,500 went to the content creator or some shit like that. He wanted me to go at this content creator because he felt taken advantage of, which I didn't do. I said, well, then you have to own up to that. You fell for that goofy shit. And now he's in a catch-22, and now he finds my channel. He wants me to answer a tough question for him. Mark, I'm in this enterprise. They finna take the money. I'm down to my last 2,000. I'm not making no money. All the money that's coming in, I'm factoring, I'm sending to my child's mother. We got a newborn, rent is due, but they finna hit the enterprise. Enterprise finna hit the goddamn, my card. What should I do? Who remembers that guy? Young kid, he was like 22, 23 years old. You know what I told him? I didn't tell him he didn't start with enough working capital because it wasn't the time for that. I didn't lecture him. I didn't hold him accountable because it wasn't the time for that. I told him to turn the truck in and pay his rent. So you got a newborn, you need a roof over your head. Do you know people, there was like 1 or 2 people that challenged that in the chat? There was 1 or 2 people in the chat that said, no, man, don't listen to Mark, man. You got to try it, man. It's just, you ain't going to know unless you try. Some goofy ass, ignorant, dumbass shit, bro. The man just said, the man calling me, an older person, experience for advice. I'm down to my last 2. Enterprise is finna hit my card in a few days. And I got rent to pay. Told him to pay his rent. Got a newborn, bro. It's over with. It was people, I think it was 2 people in the chat that told him, don't listen to me. Pay the truck rental. YOLO. This might be the week it might pop for you. And I know I'm derailing a little bit, but these things are just coming to my head when I talk about this shit, bro. Because it's sad. That situation could have been prevented if he would have calculated his costs from a business side and from a personal side. You know you got a newborn. You know your child's mother just had a baby. So clearly, whether she worked or not, she's on leave, maternity leave. I don't know if she worked or not, but you literally just popped the baby out. So she's at the crib. So she has no income coming in. Clearly, because if she did, he wouldn't have been calling me asking for advice with $2,000. He didn't calculate his lifestyle costs. He didn't measure his risk tolerance. He gave $3,500. I ain't going to say to the guy's name. And you know what? I'm 100% sure he told that guy his plight. Guy didn't give a fuck. He took that 3,500 and he sent them off. You know why he came into the business? Because he thought the business was going to save him. He thought the box truck business was going to save him. It was going to be the answer for him and his family. And this is how it's sold to you online. It's not true. And I know this is hard to hear, but it's necessary. In his mind, and in a lot of people's mind, from a life perspective, they think starting a business, especially this box truck business, because it's so low barrier to entry, is a rescue plan, and it's not. They think it's a bailout. They think it's a shortcut for a successful lifestyle. Because everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. You know, social media's got a lot of people fucked up out here in these streets. And the reality is, this is not. If your personal finances are already fucked up and collapsing and you struggling, starting a business just pretty much adds to it. It adds to the risk. It's not relief. And that's why when most people come into this industry undercapitalized and desperate, it contributes to the high failure rate. The smartest people that start a business, they simplify things at the very beginning. They simplify things. It may not look pretty, it may not look cute, but it's simple. They reduce costs to give themselves breathing room for what could happen. Over time, after you start to see some proof of concept, then you apply pressure. Not at the beginning. A lot of people do things backwards because they're desperate. They're trying to escape, and social media is the number one cause of it. So first thing you should do is you should audit your lifestyle. If I wanted to re-enter into this industry as an OTR guy with my current cost of living, I would fail. I'm telling you this. My cost of living is too high to be a single owner operator. If I came back into this business right now as a single owner operator with one truck, I would not be able to sustain my current cost of living. It's too high. It's too high. There's no way one truck over the road I would be able to pay myself monthly to sustain my current cost of living. So I would have to make some choices and decisions. On the personal side, I would have to reduce my current cost of living tremendously. And this is what most people don't do. They don't even think about it. But this is the correct way to go about things. 2 trucks over the road, still wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to pay myself enough to cover my current cost of living. So I would either have to have a decent amount of money saved up as I prepare to scale to get me to a point where I have a multitude of trucks that can pay me enough, or I have to reduce my current cost of living. That's what a lot of people don't do. They don't audit their lifestyle. So let's say if I'm forced back out there, now I'm auditing my lifestyle. I have to start making cuts, especially if let's say I'm forced back out there because I fucked up somewhere and made some bad investments and I'm out here bogus. A lot of shit got to go. So audit your personal life, which is calculating your living expenses, reducing unnecessary cost, none of these got to get rid of these subscriptions, less dinner dates, less shopping. Shit, why I got a gym membership and I got a gym in my building? Got to get rid of that. Can't stream no more. This shit is costing me too much money and it's not covering the costs. I got to cut this shit because now I got to work. I got to cut it anyway because I got to get back out there. You get what I'm saying? I got to build my cash runway. I have to be realistic with myself so I can start this new business venture with realistic expectations. And then I have to understand that I'm going to have to reinvest back into the business before I can upgrade or re-upgrade or get my lifestyle back to where it was prior. And this is not what people do. They're not realistic. And I just use myself as the example. There's no way if I had to come in, I wouldn't be able to successfully do. I would have to 1,000% make sacrifices. Your business is going to, over a period of time, once you get in and you get started, it's going to reflect your habits on the personal side. If you got bad habits on the personal side, if you're not disciplined on the personal side, your business is going to show a lack of discipline. If you lack financial literacy on the personal side, your business will soon reflect that as well. If you lack patience on the personal side, your business is going to reflect that. You're going to want instant gratification. This is why you're going to make desperate decisions very, very early on. You're not going to be willing to stay down until you come up. I talk to people all the time. There's a guy in my Discord, I'm not going to say his name because he thinks I be picking on him, but really I'm just holding him accountable because I want him to win. Up until recently, he's just really realizing the importance of discipline and patience because he's been in the business for 3-4 years, but he's watched people that have just listened to me at the same time he got started. And they're not far, similar market, same market down there in the Southeast. And they've done 6, 7 times what he's done by just listening to me. Every time I have a conversation with him, all you hear is a lack of patience and a lack of discipline. And the want and the yearn for instant gratification. And because of that, it has delayed, and it's going to delay where he really should be right now for about another 3 to 5 years because of financial decisions that he's made that has put him $100,000 in debt. And I ain't gonna say his name. And he's probably gonna see this season on I'm talking about him. And he gets pissed. But I have to do this. And like I explained to him Saturday, and like Moving Company Hustle came and supported it. Like, I can't let you forget, because we've had these conversations prior to you making poor decisions last year, and yet still you make poor decisions, which have put you in this place. You should be here. But a lack of patience and discipline is just bringing you down. And he's young. So, social media is weighing heavily in his decision making because his peers are young. And his algorithm and the things he sees is instant gratification, and it's affecting his decision making. If your lifestyle is unstable, your business is going to be unstable. Like, I don't know why people think, like, if you fucked up out here in these streets personally, like, what makes you think that the business is going to be stable if you're unstable? You can't you can't figure out how to be stable with yourself. So what makes you think you're going to be able to build a stable business? Goes back to N.W. Lou. He didn't get that. He didn't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. If you're unstable, how can you build a stable business? You're unstable, so the business is going to be unstable. Your life is unstable. The business is going to reflect it. You always hear me talk about structure. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 Ps. If you have a structured life, there's a high probability that you're going to run a structured, successful business. The business is going to reflect who you are. The business is going to reflect who you are. Lifestyle, discipline, you could look at it as a sacrifice, but you really shouldn't. That's like an entry fee. You should know that already and understand that. That's a price to pay to become an entrepreneur. You know you're going to have to make sacrifices. So it's like a price that you got to pay. The sacrifice is the price that you got to pay. And just a lot of people just can't make that sacrifice. They can't lessen their life. They can't lower their expenses for whatever reason. Or they just don't take time to do the math to even understand that it needs to be done in the first place. So don't be like a lot of these case studies that we've seen over the course of the years. come up on the channel, especially those new guys that are coming into the business this tax season. If you saw this and it's triggering you in a more positive way to, you know, maybe take a step back and look at everything a little bit more, and do that. Majority of the people that come into this business fail. And what we talked about today is one of the main reasons why. All right, let's open up the phone lines, bro. Where's the phone lines? Let's see here. Open up the line. All right, phone line is open, 312-772-5483. 312-772-5483. Phone line is open. CTR said, man, that's a crazy situation to be in. Yeah, it was crazy when he called in, bro, because I got to start going back and finding these old clips, bro. You know, because, you know, we got a lot of good content like a couple of years ago, because we, you know where we at 3 years ago, where people's mind frame was at. Just even after the pandemic, it was still a lot of that lingering ignorance. And this number looked familiar. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Mark, how's it going, man? Mark.
What's going on?
No, man, I see you had the phone lines open. I was just chiming in.
What's the deal?
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm I'm owner-operator. Got one tractor trailer I'm owning. And I've been down for about, since almost 2 weeks now. So, the truck wasn't starting up, so I just been sitting in the shop for about a week. But all in all, I'm saying is, you got to be prepared for things like that. I'm in a bunch of debt right now. So, you gotta know how to manage your bills and keep your lifestyle low.
You say you in a bunch of debt? You
Yeah.
say you an owner-operator. You a semi-truck guy, right?
Yeah, semi truck.
A lot of semi-truck guys watch me, bro. Why y'all watch me?
What? Yeah. I mean, all this stuff's the same in a way, as far as expenses and high costs. So, just take up more space and all. But it's real common stuff we do. But yeah, man, whole bunch of debt I'm in, but I'm just utilizing it to try to bridge gaps. The best thing about it is I could just try to control my expenses.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
You sound down, bro. You
trying
sound
to
like the
think
guy
of
that
it.
called in yesterday, man. I've been getting these real, like, y'all tonality is just, man, bro. What's going on out here in these streets, bro? In these semi-truck streets, bro.
Well, the races they're stable, but it's a battle to get $4 a mile, something good, something decent. The weather down here, it's really bad. We got a lot of snow. It's hard to make turns. A lot of accidents going on. And again, these mechanic shops, they're backed up because now out of my I'll say 5 years of being owner operator, what I'm noticing with these shops, they're more busy in the wintertime. That's one key note. You got these accidents going on. The repairs, they expose more when it's cold. So starting up and seals and stuff tighten up. So it's like all that shit is backed up. So this certain situations like this, the winter, you got to have money set aside for the winter because that's when it's the worst. Go to receivers, they're closed, electricity is down. So this has been a real fucked up winter. It really has.
Mm. So you said you in a lot of debt. Like, is it because of the truck, or you were in debt already, and this is just added to it, or?
Yeah, you know, it's just a little business debt. That's the main thing. You know, they tell you about business credit, get business credit. Yeah, that's all cool and all, but when you got to pay all that back, you know, then you got to manage your bills. That's where it gets, you know, conflicting. And I did the game. I followed the game the right way. You know, I did it on my own, but you know, they just don't tell you the dark side of things.
Who was
when it
they?
comes to debt.
Who was they?
Oh, you know these business gurus with the credit, and you know, gives you business credit in 30 days, and you know they sell you snake skin, snake oil. So you know, yeah, I bought it. You know, I learned the game with it, but it's like you know,
Victim to
at
it.
the end of the day.
Victim to it. Then is what you saying?
Oh yeah, we all have, we all have. In a way.
Nah, big dog. Not everybody, big dog. Not everybody.
Mm.
Where you from, big dog?
Yeah, I'm over here in Philadelphia.
You from Philly?
Yeah,
6'7"?
267-215 affiliated.
6'7". So, bro, you know we can't hold. We listen, bro. You know you're not supposed to fall for that. You from Philly, big dog.
All right.
You know you know better than that, big dog. See, now if you was a middle American, then I would understand. You from Philly.
Right. Yeah, it's rough out here. So you know, I gotta kind of had to scale back on my lifestyle and the expenses. You know, can't really do too much consumer debt like that. You know, that's where the fun is, consumer debt. But when it comes to reinvesting yourself, you know, that's a slow drip right there.
Mm-hmm. Man, you don't sound good, bro.
I mean, good, you know, just learning and living, man. You know, I'm definitely, I want to be able to scale up. That's the thing. I'm working too hard. You know, I got this one truck.
Nah,
I'm working the hell out.
Working too hard, bro. No such thing. I mean, it's a such thing, but as a business owner, it just comes along with it.
Right. Yeah, like you know, I'm off. The truck's still in the shop. I'm about to go up there and shovel snow, so I can get this trailer out. So once I hook up to it, I can start working. And it's like, you know, little shit like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been working this one system. You know, this is like beats you up. You know what I mean?
How long? How old are you?
I'm 37.
37.
Yeah, I've been driving since 2015. Started at Prime Inc.
Mm-hmm. When did you become owner operator?
Back in 2019, bought a truck, cash, and had to park that bad boy, man. It was giving me problems. I started too quick, so.
Wait, you bought it in 2019, and then you parked it what year?
Mm-hmm. In 2019.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was owner operator for about 3 months. Yeah, I was 3 months owner operator. Take too much money out of my pocket. I went back company for about 2 more years, stack some bread up. You know, that's then COVID money, all that good stuff happened. Yeah. So that's the trial and error happened right there. One of those good times. You know,
So you became an owner operator in 2019. That lasted 3 months. You went back as a company driver throughout the pandemic, and then you became an owner operator again in what, 23, 24?
21.
So you became an owner operator in the height of the pandemic. You reclaimed your owner operator status in the height of the pandemic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was doing containers at that time. Containers was, oh my gosh, man, those were some good times.
So
getting that money back then.
So you made a lot of money then in 2021. Right?
Yeah, made some good money, yeah.
So I'm saying, big dog, what's going on? Talk to me. You called the line, man. We gotta talk.
Yeah, well, you know,
You went
it's
wrong.
it's an ongoing thing. You know, that's I'm looking at it as, all right. Look, I got to be able to find a way I can just be able to sit back. You know, just have drivers. I hear people talk about, hey, we got a fleet. You know, what's the game on that? You know,
You say you want to sit back.
that's what yeah, they just sit back.
What you mean by that?
I don't have to drive the truck.
That ain't you still not. How long you been watching my channel, big dog? Did you hear
I
what
just thought a while.
you hear what I said Friday?
Huh?
When I got off the truck, it was worse than being on the truck.
Really? Oh
The
man.
mental strain is way worse than the physical, bro. When you got to deal with multiple personalities, you got the stress of more people driving your trucks, the worry, all that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro, the mental stress is far worse than the physical, bro. The mental strain is far worse than the physical strain, bro. I'm just speaking from experience, bro. So when you say, man, you want to take a step back, like, there's no such thing as a step back, bro. Like, you just gonna just jump out the truck and you're gonna have to deal with the mental strain.
Damn. Yeah.
I mean, so I'm trying to figure out what happened between 2021 and 2026, because your tonality, bro, is saying a lot.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Like
I got
huh?
yeah. I got more in control, and by me having more control, it got me into more you know, debt.
So you saying because you got more in control, you got more debt? You speaking from just ownership versus being a company driver? Is what you mean by you got more debt?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's your job once you become an owner to control the debt. The debt, you chose the debt. The decisions you made is what got you in. I don't know how much debt you in, but you led the conversation with debt. So, you know, without knowing this number, it sounds like a substantial amount. Am I right or am I wrong?
I mean, well, like 50 grand, you know.
50 grand?
Yeah.
That ain't nothing, big dog. That ain't nothing, bro.
Okay. Well, yeah.
That ain't nothing, bro.
That makes you feel a lot better, man.
Yeah, ain't nothing.
Because I'm like, I was brought up different. You know, you work, you save your money.
Hold on. From a business perspective, that ain't nothing. Personal perspective, yes. But from a business perspective, that ain't. And I'm, you know, it ain't really nothing, bro. It's motherfuckers. It's motherfuckers. Well, and when I'm saying that, it's people out here and far worse. It's people out here that's 6 figures in debt, one truck.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, so where's the debt? Where's the debt coming from? Is it the balance on the truck, or is it loans, credit?
No. Yeah, it's just bridge loans paid by here. What's it called?
Merchant loans.
Cash. I got all
merchant
that.
cash loans, cash advance.
Yeah,
so is it daily debits? Is it weekly? Is it monthly?
Yeah, it's daily.
You're doing a daily debit. All right, so now we get to it.
I got one down that's about 70% down, paid on that.
So why do you have another one? So did you have one, and then when it got 50%, you renewed it?
I opened up a different one.
Okay. How much are they taking out a day?
The first one, which is about 70% paid, they're taking about $56 a day, 5 days.
$56?
$56 a day, yeah.
All right. What about the other one?
And then the other one is $70 a day. That's a fresh one though. So I'm brand new with them.
And what's the term? What's the term?
From both of them, I got 7 months, 120 days. 120 days.
So one is 7 months and the other is 120 days.
No, they're both 120 days, business days.
So where's the rest of this 50,000 at then? Because that's not 50,000, or is it?
No.
So where's the money?
It's
Where's
credit cards, just credit cards, and just I'll say it to you like this, because
you speaking
this
in
has been an
codes
experience.
right now?
Yeah, because no, it's just like it's an experiment that I did. All right, here's the thing. Back in 22, all right, my income was up, right? So I said, all right, cool. I'm about to do some credit stacking, and I did all this credit stacking in 23, got like 100,000, and then from there, I already had my own truck.
Is
I
that a
was
hack?
just like,
Credit stacking? Is that a hack?
No, that's so. All right, so let's just say you got a 680 credit score,
Mm-hmm.
something fair, and then you just go to each different bank and get a loan out. So get like 3 different loans, 20,000 a piece, plus credit cards. You stack them up, and then from there, yeah, man. I mean, that's just how I roll with it. But it's like it all hits you all at once, and then it's like, damn. I got in all this. I didn't think it was going to be this way. And then
Who taught you that?
I'm learning.
Who taught you that? Who taught you that?
I mean, I looked at it like this, Mark. I said, you know what? This college thing ain't working. I'm going to just go 100% in the trucking. I don't want to buy a house. I ain't going back to college. Let me just take out a massive amount of debt and figure out this trucking shit. And I did. I learned. I bought a truck, 2 trucks out of it. But it's like, it kind of blemished like relationships in a way, because I kind of put that up first, and like I said, max your credit out and everything.
Who told you this?
So
who is this? Tell me this. Who told you this?
Nah, nobody even told me this. I just put 2 and 2 together. I see these guys, talking about credit and revenue and all that. So hey, I needed the cash.
No, bro. You had to learn this from somebody. You just didn't wake up one morning and say, "Oh, credit stacking." That sounds like a hack, bro. That sounds like some fraud Bible shit. You dig what I'm saying?
No. It's not fraud.
I know it ain't fraud, but what I'm saying, it sounds like a method. It sounds like a method that was taught.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, big dog. I'm from the crib.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well,
you can't talk in codes, bro. Like where'd you learn that shit, bro? Somebody that's learned, bro. Somebody taught you that.
So I kind of looked at it like how they talk about with real estate. You find your property, and and just fix it up, and just rent it out. So I was looking at it as myself. I get a piece of property, truck, and then learn how to work it. Then I can make my money back that way. As far as financing, I just looked at it as I'm not trying to. I looked at it like this. I'm gonna save $15,000, and then dump it all on a truck, versus me taking that $15,000, showing the bank, hey, look how much money I got. They can match that. That's $30,000. Get some credit cards. That's another $5,000. So it's about flipping and stacking the money up high, and just not being afraid to take risks. Like I said, most people want to buy a house. Mm-hmm. Most people want to buy a car. I'm 37 years old. I experienced all that stuff. So I just look at it like, let me just go trying to finance my life one day, and instead of me trying to buy another car again, you know what I mean?
So you borrowed 60,000 from the credit card companies, and you 20 a piece, and you said, I'm just going to stack it.
Yeah.
But the thing is you got to pay it back with interest.
Right.
And it sounds like you still owe it.
Oh yeah.
6 years later.
Well, no, it's 2 years. 2 years later.
2 years later, but now you got some hard money loans from who? Who you got them from? On Deck, Credibly, or some shit like that?
Yeah, all them boys will be online and stuff. I got your bank account information.
So you got some credit. So you got some merchant cash loans, 2 merchant cash loans, and you still got 3 loans out from 3 different credit cards from some shit you did 6 years ago.
2 years ago.
So basically, you ain't got no money.
No, I got the cash.
You spent
I
that
ain't
cash,
spend it.
dog. That cash is gone, ain't it?
Keep on, don't spend it all. That's the thing.
But that was 2 years.
And then when I run the truck,
So if you got this,
right.
if you got the stack shit a couple years ago, why would you go out and get these hard money cash advance loans? If you got the money from the 2 years ago from the stack, why would you go get two, not one, but two merchant cash?
Why use the merchant cash? It's for like what's it called? Expenses, cash flow. Some weeks. Here's the thing: when you processing payments every day, when you factor in them companies, it's like it drains your account. So I looked at hey, let me get an MCA, put that on there. It can at least feed me for a little bit while I'm factoring these invoices. That's why I use MCAs to help me bridging the gaps, slow days and stuff like that. Like today, it's costing me about like $250 a day to operate. So
Just
if I
sitting.
know I'm going to need that, yeah. So if I know I'm going to need that, then I'm gonna just have some money saved up, or if it's too much, I just take a loan out or something like that and bridge that.
So
Try to get the truck back and rolling again.
So I'm trying to understand this, bro, because I ain't with the hacks and shit, bro. I'm old school. I just
No, it's not a hack.
but you said the stacking thing. So is that money is gone, right?
Yeah, the money is gone, but
It's
the
got to
future
be
is
gone
funded.
if you took out these two merchant
When you,
cash
yeah,
on a daily debit, because I'm thinking like if you would have qualified for a monthly or even a weekly, they would have get like nobody like daily debit is like I'm just gonna keep it a buck, bitch. You don't get offended though. That's like on the real desperation level, bro.
Yeah.
That's under the Desperation Act, bro. Because now that's cash flow coming out every day. So for me understanding business, I know at some point for you to not take out one, but two of those loans, you were fucked up.
This week, yeah, I was fucked up this week. I had to take out another loan this week.
Also, you took out the second one this week.
Yeah, well, yeah. Last week I took it out because I knew I was going to be down for a week, and
so there's no cash flow. So all that money is gone.
Nah, I ain't going. They dropped $4,000.
No.
Taking out $100 a day.
You got the $4,000 that they just dropped last week, but the other merchant cash loan and plus the $60,000 is gone.
They still taking that. $100 a day.
You spent the money though, bro. Is what I'm saying. You don't have any of that money. You're paying
it
back.
Yeah. I spent it. Yeah.
So now all you got is the $4,000 from the merchant cash advance, the daily debit that you got approved for, and they dropped into your account last week. So you got to make some shit shake with this $4.
Oh yeah.
So how much does it cost to get the truck fixed?
We're looking about maybe about $1,400 total.
And it's been in the shop how long?
7 days.
And what's wrong with it?
It's losing prime overnight. So it sits.
You said
we're having some cold weather. It's losing prime overnight. So when it sits for about 10 hours and it's been real cold, it's taking a long time for it to crank. And he said there's a check valve behind the engine head that's leaking fuel along with the line. And he had to go back there and switch it out so I can start up quicker. I ain't got to use no heater or nothing like that. I won't be stranded or anything like that. So I had to get that taken care of. This whole month, man, we're just dumping a lot of money into the truck. Had to get some belts replaced, oil changes, all that done. The clamps. Yeah, it's been a hard winter this month.
So now it makes sense, bro.
January.
It always takes some time to get to the nitty gritty, bro. Now I understand the tonality. Now I understand why 50,000 seems like a lot or feels like a lot for you. It's how you got this debt. I don't know, bro. I mean, Is the truck paid for?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm doing pretty good. Like I've been invoicing each month. For the last 3 months, about 16 to 17,000 a month.
You say you're doing pretty good, and you took a daily debit loan, merchant cash advance last week.
Yeah, well, that's how you look at your account. Yeah,
I know how to. I get business. I understand from a business perspective. You showing your
Right.
income, right? Because they want to make sure that you have enough money coming in to pay them back. I get it.
Right.
So, but here's what we talking about. I understand business. So, what is the ending balance month to month?
It can vary. I'm never in the negative. Not in the negative.
Okay, so
it can range.
So where?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's figure out why you're not making any money, bro. Is the truck paid for?
I think. Yeah, the truck is paid for.
The truck is paid for. Where do you live at in Philly, bro?
Oh, I'm right by the airport.
Right by the airport. How much
Southwest.
rent, big dog?
Yeah. Rent is $1,300.
How many kids you got?
I got 4 of those things.
And there it is. There you go. See, I didn't go with another
All
like
them things,
what your
man.
car notes is and see that. I know where to go with it, big dog. I just wanted a little icebreaker.
Shit.
I didn't want to go straight there.
Right.
I went straight from the rent straight to how many kids you got. There you go. Now here we go. Here we go. How many BMs you got?
I got 2 crazy women.
Ooh, there you go.
I got
There it is.
I got a vanilla, a caramel, and a chocolate.
You got a caramel and a chocolate? They bad. They probably bad. They probably bad. Yes, sir. You sound like a little player. You sound like a player. You dig what I'm saying? I just let it marinate. You dig what I'm saying? I just had to build it up there. I knew where I was going with it. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so now we know where the money going, pimp.
Yeah, you like that. So.
See, why you gotta make me? See, I already knew what it was, but I have to, for the audience, just for the show, I have to drag it out. You dig what I'm saying? So we know where the money going, big dog.
Right.
So I mean, bro, caramel and chocolate, bro. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen. I ain't got no regrets though, man.
No, it ain't about regrets. It's about what we gonna do.
Good nights.
What we gonna do? Yeah, you had a good night. But what did I talk about yesterday with the gold wrapper? See, that gold wrapper went over a lot of people's heads. It went over their head and it didn't go on the right head.
Right.
I just talked about the gold wrapper yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, Magnum, y'all got to sponsor the kid. Y'all have to give me a sponsorship. Magnum, Trojan, come holler at me. Listen. Bro, what we gonna do, big dog? We got to figure something out, big dog.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of living is just too damn high, man. I mean, I never thought I'd be ever paying $1,300 for some rent.
$1,300 ain't shit, big dog. For rent in 2026, that ain't nothing. That ain't shit, bro. How many bedrooms you got for that 13?
1 bedroom and a half.
That's cheap. For Philly, what the airport looking like? It's looking like the airport looking like Kensington or some shit like that. Like, cause I'm trying to figure it out.
No, it's just it's in a small section by the airport, so you know it's not in the scene or nothing like that.
So your rent is affordable. It's just them BMs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got 4. They probably all under 13 or 14.
Yeah. Oldest is 13.
So is it the cost of living or is it the cost of kids? And BMs?
I really think it's the cost of living and these interest rates are really kicking my ass.
The interest rates, well, see, here's the thing. That's choices and decisions too. You didn't have to sign that shit, big dog.
Right.
All that is choices and decisions. So the question is, what you gonna do? You can't. Let me tell you what you need to stop doing, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is from an older brother to a younger brother. Man, don't take out no more of them loans, big dog. Them desperation loans, bro. I'd rather you just go back and be a company driver, bro. Because you're gonna see your money, and even if a large portion of your money goes to the cost of living, you're not gonna be in tremendous debt. Like, you just create more debt for yourself. You ain't gonna have a reason to go get all these crazy loans to keep up with a failing business because you robbing from the sustainability of the business. Let's go get a job. Let them BMs take the child support out. Let the court decide. Let them get their shit right. Now you know what you working with. Listen, this is what I'm left with. So I have to, build a life off of what I'm left with after they take the child support, and then just figure out ways to make extra money on the side, bro. But you keep putting your. But
I like the freedom and control, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beauty behind all this shit.
Bro, fuck all that freedom and control. You dig what I'm saying? You see, at the end of the day, you had 4 great nights. And you got some baby mamas that's leaning. Yeah. And your business ain't generating enough money to be able to take care of the business and all of that. You robbing from the business to take care of them and drawing more and more down, putting yourself in further debt. So we gonna go back to the conversation like I be having, with other people. They get mad, or you ain't got it, but still, you putting yourself behind, like, you putting yourself in a more fucked up situation, bro. And guess what? You got 3 loans. Now you got 2 merchant cash loans. This 4,000, let's keep it above, big dog. You know what it is. That 4,000 ain't shit for what you got going on. He telling you 14, but we know that might not be 14. That might turn into 22. That might turn into 23. You see what I'm saying? But let's say it's 14.
Yeah. Right.
Now what you got? 26? But you really don't got 26 because it's still costing you every single day that the truck's sitting, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's costing you $250 a day. And it's costing you $250 for the past 7 days, $250 a day. So we already at tomorrow. We at $2 right there.
Cost per mile.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. So when you say the cost per mile, that's kind of what it adds up to.
You said your truck just sitting is costing you $250 a day. That's what you told me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow it'll be $2.
Mm-hmm.
It's costing you $1,400 to get it fixed. So he says so far. If he finds any other issues, it could be more. So right now we at 34. You got 4,000 to your name. So this is what I'm saying. That 4 ain't nothing in your situation.
Yeah.
So now what we gonna do? You're gonna find a load, you're gonna run it, you're gonna factor it, you're gonna rob from the sustainability of the business. If you got enough to run when the shit is all said and done. We don't know what it's gonna cost to fix that truck. He telling you 14 now based off his findings. Have they started fixing on the motherfucker yet?
Yeah, it's all done. We're gonna pick it up tomorrow morning.
So it's done, 1,400.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well. So now you got about $2 to play with, big dog. Bro, I don't know, bro. I can't tell you what to do, but it just sounds like you in a bad situation, bro. And now it makes sense. Me personally, I would take the 50-cent roll. Just go to work. Let them get what they want to get. Let the court decide what they're gonna get, and you keep putting yourself in debt trying to take care of the crib. And and here's the problem, you can't manage it well.
That's probably what it is.
So let the courts manage the shit for you based off the income from as a company driver. And then whatever's left, try to find a way to live decent off of that, and then
Oh, that shit gonna be too. That's gonna be too high. I won't be able to afford rent.
you gonna have to live in the truck. What's so funny?
Oh man, I don't know about that.
What you mean? You an OTR driver? You could just live in the truck for a year, stack your bread. Tell them, man, you gonna go wherever they send you for a year. Tell them don't send me home because I ain't got no home to go to. So just keep me out here. Do that shit for a year. Stack all your chop. What you mean, big dog? This is what it is. This is what we talk about. This is choices in this.
I mean, I got all that time under my authority. You know, I can't lose that authority time. You know what I mean?
Bro, what you gonna do, bro? You listen to me, dog. Listen to me, bro. How long you been watching Big Mark? How long you been watching me?
Yeah, just saying, you know, you guys just start popping up, and I'm like, what's this? And I just clicked subscribe.
Y'all semi truck guys,
Yeah.
YouTube and sending y'all been watching
about 2 weeks. Yeah, about 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Buddy said yesterday. I don't know. I guess, man, something going on in the algorithm or something. You did, but anyway, listen. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, big dog. You ain't got no money. You said that like you didn't know that already.
Damn.
You ain't got no money, bro. That ain't no money. You broke again. Once you get the truck fixed, you broke again. The money they gave you last week, that's pretty much, we can just cancel Christmas on that shit gone, big dog. Man, one of them baby mamas gonna be calling you about the weekend, bro. Valentine's Day coming up, bro. She gotta go get her hair and her nails done and everything. Did the hair and her. Come on, big dog. You know what it is.
I gotta listen. As long as I get that $4 a mile, I'm set.
You bullshitting me right now. You trolling or something, bro.
What do you mean?
What you mean? As long as you get that $4 a mile.
$4 a mile. You know, I'm good. You know, I make that. It covers my bills for the week.
What if you don't get that?
Oh no, it's definitely freight out there paying that.
So you said
in my area.
You said for the week?
Yeah.
So how did we get in this situation to begin with? So now we just trying to get by for the week? How did we get in this situation? Is that the reason why we in this situation?
Well,
the
situation is because
you gotta understand. I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to get you to understand something, big dog. I'm trying to get you to understand something, bro. You coping right now. Coping. You got took out 3 credit card loans, and you just took out 2 merchant cash advances. One is recent as last week. That means you were really in desperate need. $4,000 ain't like listen to me, bro. I wish you the best, but bro, you gotta face reality.
Because I took out 4,000 because I usually gross 4,000 a week, so I missed that whole week. So I said, all right, let me get a little buffer.
Okay, so how much before you took out the 4,000? And keep it a buck with me. How much did you have?
In my checking account, but I have like 1,200. But all my bills about to hit that week.
So you was fucked up.
Yeah.
You was fucked up. You don't have nothing.
Yeah.
So you was broke. You didn't have nothing. That's why you took it. Anybody that takes out that is fucked up out here in these streets.
Right.
And they gave you a daily debit because they know you fucked out here. They said, man, fuck it. We ain't even trying to wait a month. We need our shit every day. You dig? So
they didn't give me the max though. They tried to offer the max, but I said, nah, I ain't crazy.
All right, so bro, listen what I'm telling you. You can do what you want, bro, but I think you need to sit back and I think you need to really evaluate some things. I think your current cost of living is high, and it's based on the amount like of kids and baby mamas and shit, bro. I think you doing a lot of robbing from the sustainability. I mean, we haven't gone too much in details, but I think I've heard enough. You doing a lot of robbing from the business to cover your personal shit. Does that sound right or no?
Robbing from the business. I mean, majority of this. Listen, the majority of the stuff I'm robbing is going to the business. That's the thing.
How? Because if it was, the business wouldn't be broke.
I don't know. I might have to see an accountant or something like that, man, or do something.
Bro, I'm telling you based on what you're telling me. Listen to me. Listen to me. You got 3 loans and 2 merchant cash loans. Do you see the pattern?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the money, how much do you gross in a week on average?
Between 38 to 41 per week.
38 to 41 a week, and you're in a semi truck.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I got cargo van guys that's making more than that. First of all, you're not generating enough income with the equipment you got. You're operating at a loss for sure. You're operating at a loss week by week. Facts. $3,800. But I got a motherfucker right now that's doing for something in a cargo van.
Well, I'm local.
I don't give a goddamn if you was around the corner. I don't care if you was around the corner. You're not
Right,
generating
right.
enough income for that equipment. There's motherfuckers in here that's making more than that local in a box truck. These is facts. Gross. So if that's all you're grossing, you're not generating enough income to keep up with the cost of maintaining and sustaining the business and having to pay yourself what you need to pay yourself with the current cost of living that you have. I'm just keeping it a buck with you, bro.
Right.
So, if I was you, I'd really reevaluate shit, bro. From one brother to another brother. You dig? It's Black History Month. It's Black History Month, so I'm gonna keep it real with you. Because I want you to win. Me personally, I'm gonna tell you something I probably wouldn't tell you any other time. I would probably go ahead and I know you ain't gonna want to hear this, and there's gonna be some people that's gonna be mad, but here's the thing. People ain't gonna pay your bills, bro. You need to go to work, bro. I think you need to go just be a company driver. It seems that's where you get your success. You've had 2 runs at owner operator, and it sounds like both times it's just not, you failed. I don't think you know how to manage it, and I think your outside expenses is just too much, bro. Like when them baby mamas get to calling you, bro, you know you ain't saying no. So where the money coming from? Big dog is coming from the business. Go be a company driver. Put yourself on child support. Let them come get that, and then you know what you got to do, big dog.
Right.
Or you can keep doing what you're doing. You can keep doing what you're doing and keep taking out these loans and just get yourself further and further into debt.
But hey, isn't that the American way? If you think about it, this country is built off of debt.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Tell me what content creators you watch.
Mortgages.
Listen, I talked about that last week. The 1% wants you to remain in debt. That's how they stay rich. Stop being a consumer.
Right.
Start thinking like an investor and a builder. I keep talking about, see, you won't watch the channel. It's a line in the sand. It's us and them. You could come over here and get with us, or we can just get money up off of you. You're the individual on the other side that we just get money up off of because of the ignorance. See that, man, this country is built on that. That's that shit that they push onto you. So that's just like the motherfuckers that during the pandemic was like, oh, logistics trucking is a $875 billion a year business. So then the ignorant motherfucker that they just hear $875 billion, so they figure like, oh, it's enough money for all of us. They don't do none of the other research. It just automatically equated like, oh, it's enough money for all. Let me go get a truck and put a driver in it.
Ooh, can't do
Country's
that.
built off debt. Who the fuck wants to be in debt? Not my black ass. That's why I always say, man, cash is king.
I tell myself that all the time. Who the hell wants to be in debt? You know, let's just say you get a truck. You pay the truck off. Now the engine's out. You got to go back into debt. Or you got to go into debt to fix the engine.
You don't.
I mean, I'm not.
You
If
don't
I
go
got
into debt to
if I
get.
got
You
30
don't gotta.
grand,
You don't have to buy a truck that's gonna put you in debt. You can work really hard, save up, and enter with cash. It's just like an investor. I always use that analogy.
listen, I was brought up on that. I definitely agree with you on that. But it seems like when you spend your own cash, but the bank's saying, hey, I got 30 to match that, I want to take that man's money. I mean, I'm going to keep mine in my bank. And the more money you keep on offering,
bro,
I'm
I
going
don't
to keep
even have a savings account, bro. I got a checking account for my bills, and all my money is spread through different brokerages and investments. I don't save money in the bank. Why would I keep my money in the bank? The bank is making more money off my money than me. My money has to be working for me, bro.
Right.
It's not working for me in the bank, bro. I have a checkings account. That's it, bro. That's why my bills and shit come out. All my other money is spread out all over the place. Real estate, stocks, all over the place, bro. I haven't had a savings account in over a decade. What are you talking about, bro? This is what I'm saying. You a consumer, big dog. This is why you keep falling victim to this shit, bro. I ain't too much older than you.
Mm-hmm.
When I was your age, bro, I was gone already. What you mean? The work is built on debt. That's what they want you. Yeah, it's built on debt. Keep getting your goofy ass into debt. That's what they saying. It's cool. We want you to stay in debt. We don't think like that over here.
Right.
I ain't built shit. Everything I got when I came into logistics, I spent cash, bro.
Yeah. Well, you know, it just seems in there, the cash that I got, it just went to all lessons and learning. So, you know.
Bro, listen to me, bro. Who you been watching, bro? Because all this shit sounds like it's learned shit. Like you heard this shit somewhere, bro.
All I did is I put trucking plus other business plus real estate. You know, I see how people get this credit together. They get a massive amount of, you know, lines of credit, and they buy hard assets like a truck. You know, you learn the game. I already knew the game, and then I just worked from there. Then you have to touch on my money.
But
so,
you see that shit didn't work, right? You saw it didn't work, right?
Huh?
You see that shit didn't work, right?
Well, I got a cash truck out the deal, so that's
no, you didn't. You credit stack, bro.
Well, I got title. I mean, you know?
No. You didn't get a cash truck. You took out 3 loans for it that you still owe a significant amount of money years later. Cash means I worked really, really hard. I saved up the money. I went to a dealer and I wrote a check, or I walked in with a bag and I handed them cash. That's cash. Me going and borrow money from my credit union and then taking it, pay cash, I still owe the credit union. Maybe at a cheaper interest than if I would have went through one of the companies that the dealer would have sent me through, right? For used commercial equipment, you know, they're going to send you through a hard money finance company or lender. But you're still paying on those trucks because you still owe those 3 different credit card companies 5-6 years later. A significant amount because it sounds like with the amount of money you still owe, you're paying the minimum every month. Am I right or am I wrong?
Mark,
Huh?
I just stopped paying it. I just stopped paying it. Those other loans you talking about?
Go.
Yeah,
There it go.
Yeah. I used what I needed.
So you ain't even paying it. So now you got them, they leaning on you right now. They got UCCs all across the board on your ass.
Mm. Damn. Yeah, I gotta figure that out.
Oh, Lord have mercy, bro. Bro, you know what you should do, bro? Just
Yeah, another thing is like when you get things in your name, you're not supposed to get stuff in your name. Have separate accounts, business account, and have a personal account. Keep everything separated.
So what are you saying? What are you telling me?
I mean, that's just what I'm learning about.
So
when
what,
it
you
comes
got
to
the
this
shit in
business.
your personal name or the business name?
A lot of my loans are on my personal name.
Okay. So the loans are in your personal name.
Yeah, it's not really attached to the business.
Okay. Well, that means your credit fucked up. All right.
Yeah.
So
But I definitely take heed what you said, man. I'm just hoping. Listen, this is what I'm in prayer about, man. My truck be ready for tomorrow. I attach my trailer and get back to making this money. I've been down for about almost 2 weeks now. That's not like me. I got to run every day.
okay.
So, I really do appreciate your input. You know, you gave me motivation. I got to get back on the road, man. Definitely.
So you don't think just becoming a company driver and making that little 135 a year is
Hell no. No.
okay?
I'm
But
gonna get
when
back.
have you made 135 in your own truck? Since
I made
2019.
200
Keep it
last
a
year.
thou wow.
Yeah.
Keep it a thou wow.
I mean, make good money. 25 was pretty good last year. It was stable.
Did you make over $100,000 last year?
I grossed about 200.
Did you make over $100,000 last year?
Me personally,
Yes.
or the business?
You.
No.
Okay.
I would never pay myself $100,000.
No. It ain't even you pay yourself. The business has to generate enough income to even pay you that. Your business is not generating you enough income. What did you pay yourself last year? You don't know?
For bills and everything. No. Well, here's the thing. Okay, about 35,000 last year.
Okay. About, or that's what you paid yourself?
Yeah. It was about between 35 and 40 in that range, ballpark range.
You said you local or you over the road?
Local.
So 35,000 is all your business could pay you last year.
Yeah.
And that's with all the loans that you got. And you
But
that's what
I want to pay myself. I don't want to give myself more money.
Cause you dodging
Mark.
we gotta keep it a thou wow. We don't see who
shit.
we use people a thou wow, big dog. Listen, we talk about guys like you all the time, big dog. Listen, you know. Listen, we talk.
Yeah, I didn't know this
guys
was
like
I didn't know this shit was gonna be an hour long.
we kick it over here. This is probably the realest logistic channel you gonna get. We kick it.
Right.
This the culture over here, big dog. That's why so many people. That's why y'all fuck with Big Mark. I ain't never had a CDL in my life, but all these semi truckers, y'all keep calling me. Y'all ain't got nobody in the semi truck side to get you fuck with like that. Y'all call Big Mark every day. It's some semi truckers. I'm like, damn, why y'all niggas calling me for?
You know what? You don't want to this real game. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers on here, they talk about how they hate the industry and they complain. So nobody's really give out game like that. They keep this trucking shit a secret, which it ain't. It shouldn't be no secret. You know?
Let me tell you something, brother. Let me be honest with you, big dog. You got a pattern, and the pattern gonna continue.
Right.
You know, the situation is the situation. The reality is the reality, and it's kind of what I talked about earlier, bro. You got a lot of baby mama kid shit, bro. That's costing you. I know where the money was going. And you rob from the sustainability day in and day out. As soon as money come in, bro, that shit going right out. We know why it's going out. You can't, that truck ain't generating you enough income to take care of, like, your shit is pretty much non-negotiable. It'd be different if it was like, yo, man, Mark, I got a luxury penthouse. I got a goddamn cyber truck that I'm paying a big ass note on, the Tesla. I got all this shit. You know, we could say, well, fuck it. We might have to do some voluntary repo on that, get rid of that, this, that, and the third, or turn the apartment in, when the lease up, don't renew the lease, shit like that. But like, bro, like you got baby mamas and 4 kids, bro. Can't turn them in.
Right.
So what I'm saying is you got to be looking to generate more income, not less. You not generating enough now. That's why the business is constantly failing. You keep robbing from the business, and once you rob from the business, you keep going and getting these fucking hard money loans.
But it's keeping the truck moving. You know what I mean?
I just talked about this shit yesterday. Moving doesn't equate to profitability. Moving don't equate to profitability, big dog. It costs money to move. And if it's costing you more to move than what you bringing in, you're operating at a loss.
But isn't that good for tax purposes?
Bro, you ain't generating enough money to the point where we're proactively looking to write shit off. You ain't generating enough money to the point where, well, we got a shit ton of money. Fuck it, let's go lease a Rolls Royce Phantom. We got this much fucking money. Let's get rid of it. Let's go lease a, fuck it. We don't need a Phantom, but fuck it. That's $600,000-$700,000 we could write off. Let's go. I had a company, I tell this story all the time. They bought $100,000 chairs.
Mm-hmm.
It was $100,000 worth of chairs. They said, Mark, we buying these chairs. We gonna have them shipped to your warehouse. We don't need them. They gonna come in boxed, assemble them at your warehouse, and we'll call you sometime at the end of January or February to deliver them. Assemble them there, keep them there, store them there. We don't want them assembled here. We're ordering them now, but we'll contact you at the end of January, February, and schedule a delivery date. Do you know why they ordered them ahead and they weren't really concerned about the delivery? Do you understand why? It was December and they looking for write-offs. They looking to spend some money. They'd rather spend some money than just fork it over to the IRS.
Yeah.
We're going to fork some. We're going to pay them something, but we're going to pay them less. We're going to pay them less. So we rather spend money. We might not need this shit, but we rather spend it than just hand them a larger portion. We're going to give them something. We just want to give them less. Fuck it. Let's get new chairs. Let's get this. Let's get that. Let's get this. Let's get that. You talking about like you ain't in a situation like that, bro. You're losing. You're operating at a loss. You're failing. Your write-offs are more than what you got coming in. You're not profitable.
I mean, I try to keep my costs low. That's all.
Bro, you're not understanding what I'm trying to
Cost per
tell you,
mile.
bro. You're not getting what I'm trying to tell you, man.
No, I get what you're saying. I get it. You know, it's hard, man. It really is.
It's decisions, bro. You have to make a decision. The decision may not be the decision you want to make, but if it's going to be the best for you and your family, then that's what you got to make, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. Clearly, you've been watching people, because I hear it when you say the debt and the stacking and all this shit that you saying, bro, and it's crazy shit, bro.
Right.
At the end of the day, business is not for everybody, bro. I mean, you've tried it twice. It hasn't gone good. You're 7 years in, and this is where you at. We've figured out why you are where you are. So if you want to do better, you got to make some changes. You're not generating enough income, bro. You got a semi truck that's making $3,800 a week. That's failing, bro. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You say, yo, as long as I'm keeping the wheels moving, you're keeping them moving at a loss, bro. Just because they moving don't mean it's profitable. I think you'd be better off as a company driver, bro. And I know you don't want to hear that, but out of the last 7 years, you've been an owner-operator twice. You haven't succeeded. But when you were an when you were a company driver, you probably seen your most success behind the wheel of a truck. Would you agree or would you disagree? And be honest.
Honestly, I seen the most success when I had my truck and I was leased on to a company that had work every day.
When was this? 2021, right?
21, yeah, between
Now,
21 to 23.
So let me explain. Do you know why you were successful in 21?
Because the cost was cheaper. I didn't have to pay that insurance.
It wasn't necessarily the cost was cheaper. It's just the rates were really high, and to absorb the ignorance that you have today. I'm pretty sure you had it in 20. You don't go from smart to ignorant. The conversation that we're having, I'm exposing all your ignorance because I'm pulling it out. Like you said, the longest the truck. I thought as long as the truck moving, that's ignorant. I literally talked about that yesterday. The wheels moving doesn't equate to profitability. There's people that wheels are moving right now, just like yours, at a loss, day in and day out, and don't even know it. That's ignorance. So if it exists, and you've been doing this since 2019, you failed in 3 months in 2019, you came back in 2021, that ignorance existed in 2021. It's just the rates were so high, it absorbed your ignorance, just like it did with everybody else that came in 2020 and 2021.
Right.
It was a pandemic.
Yeah.
The volume was so fucking high that a person with no brain, as long as they knew how to turn the key and drive, they were successful. No math. Nobody did math. They didn't know. Like, what's your operation cost right now? What does your operation cost?
$4,000 a month.
So it costs you $1,000 a week to run?
Yeah.
Now you just contradicted yourself.
Why you say that?
Because early in the conversation, you said it costs you $250 a day. Even if your truck doesn't move, it costs you $250. You said my truck is costing me $250 a day.
Right. That's okay.
So if your truck is costing you $250 a day, if it doesn't move, how much is your cost is going to go up when the wheels are turning?
About 200 a day. My fault. I'm thinking of something else.
So now it went from $250 a day to $200 a day?
Yeah, I was thinking about something else. About 200 a day, 1,000 a week, 5 days
How
a
do you
week.
calculate
I
your
was thinking
cost,
about
big
something
dog?
else.
How do you calculate it? I'm gonna help you out,
Insurance.
bro. I'm gonna help you out,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah,
Because your
yeah.
favorite people done sent you off, bro. Which you alluded to at the very beginning. So I'm gonna help you out, bro. How do you
My man,
calculate
I
your
appreciate
cost?
it. Insurance $1,800 a month.
Well, first let me ask you
Trailer
this. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do actually?
drive-in.
Okay. Locally.
Yeah.
So what does that consist of?
Between 250-mile air radius.
Okay. So you operate with a 250 air mile radius. Okay, a day. All right. So
Now that's that's not high end. On the low end it could be 220. I can get that 1,200. I try to get it that 1,200 per week number for the miles.
all right. So
12 to 1,500 per week.
how are you calculating your costs? Are you doing like a CPM?
Yeah.
What is it?
$1.88 a mile.
So your cost per mile is $1.88 a mile.
Yeah.
When is the last time you calculated it?
About a week ago.
So $1.88 a mile. And all right, I'm listening. You can continue. How much
So,
what's your
I'll
insurance?
give
You
it a
said
breakdown.
1,800 a month.
18 for the insurance, 700 for the trailer a month.
Mm-hmm.
This is all monthly stuff. $700 a month for this. It's a credit card that I like to pay $700 on.
Hold on.
That's just what.
Let me get the calcy. I got to get the calcy for this, bro. $1,800 a month for the tractor, right? You said for insurance?
Yeah.
Plus $700 for the trailer a month, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Plus $700 on a line of credit that I'm paying on.
So you got another line of credit?
This is through my credit union. This is something totally separate that I just use it as a savings account. But just add that in
owe
there.
money on it though, right?
Huh?
You said wait. You said you use it as a savings account.
Yeah, it's a credit card. It's a regular
You said it's a business line of credit.
It's the same thing. You know, you can switch it into a line of credit, but it's a business credit card, but you can use it as a line of credit.
So I'm trying to figure out how is it a savings if it's a line of credit?
Because I can always tap into it. But yeah, go.
It's a line of credit,
add
bro.
that in there. Cool. Yeah.
Hold on, bro. Slow down. Who is it through?
The credit union?
Yes.
Sunny's Bank.
So you're borrowing from them. You applied for a business line of credit, right?
Yeah.
And they gave you how much?
They give me about 20 racks.
So they gave you 20 racks. So how is this a savings account when you're borrowing money that you can pull as you need it and replace it back and be charged interest on what you pull? This is a logistics channel, but we do more business on this channel than anything, bro. So
yeah.
You got to understand when you're talking to me, you're talking to an experienced businessman. So when you say you got a business line of credit and you use it as a savings account, that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Because if I apply for a business line of credit, Mark, we're going to give you $100,000. You can pull from it at any time. We're going to charge you interest off the money that you pull. The rest of the money is going to sit. So how do you use that as a savings account?
All right. Look, I agree on your concept on it, but let's just for these numbers' sakes, let's just add that in there. All right.
Okay. But here's another form of money that you borrowed that you just now telling. So they gave you 20. Did you dissolve the whole 20 down? Did you draw the whole 20 down?
No.
Okay. How much is in there now?
About 17 liquid.
So you got $17,000 in there right now that you could touch.
Correct.
On what interest? What's your rate if you pull?
I forgot.
You forgot?
Yeah, that's the thing. Mark, and you know what? I'm glad you asked because that's some shit that I got to start, understanding interest rates, learning that. So, but you're not wrong. It's
Let me
definitely got to learn interest
let me
rates.
ask you this: if you got 20 racks sitting
Mm-hmm.
from a business line of credit, from a credit union, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck would you go take out a merchant cash advance?
Because hey, the credit union that's a good deal. I don't want to mess them over. I'll take out some of the crazy other debt. Yeah,
No.
I want to keep
Hold on,
them
big
good.
dog. Hold on. You talking to Big Mark now? We got to make sense of this.
Right.
You got 20 racks sitting in a business line of credit that's there for you if you need it. I asked you what the rate is. You don't know the rate. I'm pretty sure it's better than a merchant cash advance rate on a daily debit. I'm just taking a wild guess based on just my understanding of it. So if I got 20 racks sitting over here, just in case, why the fuck would I go do a daily debit twice?
That's house money.
You said what?
I look at it as house money. Low interest rate. I ain't trying to fuck that up. I want to keep a good relationship with them.
House money? I don't understand what that means.
That's like emergency safety net money, not touch.
Okay, well, this sounds like an emergency. You fucked up out here in these streets. So wouldn't it be better to touch that? Here's the thing, if you got 20 racks in there and the loan, you need $1,400 to get the truck fixed. Let's say, fuck it, you take out 5 to give yourself some room to breathe. 14. You don't think that's better than the 4 racks you pulled out on the merchant cash advance on the daily debit?
What you just said, I did that in reverse. What you just said with the merchant cash advance.
But what I'm saying is, if you got 20 racks in a business line of credit, why didn't you use that instead of taking out the loan for instead of taking the merchant cash loan out? You telling me because that's house money? I don't understand what that means.
It's low interest. I use it as like a personal emergency. Anything business related, I'm going to use that.
It's low interest, so isn't that more reason you should have used it? So you rather take out high interest merchant cash daily debit that's draining cash flow daily than a low interest business line of credit that's the reason it's the sole purpose of the reason why you got it sitting there is this right now in case of emergency, right?
Yeah.
So make this make sense for me, bro. I'm trying to understand like why your decision making. Because now you got more money that you're borrowing from. So if I was in your situation, I would have went to the line of credit.
Right.
So when you say it's house money, I know what you're getting at. I ain't going there yet. Hold on, I get you.
Yeah.
I know where you get.
All right, cool. All right.
Philly. You from the crib. I get what you getting at. You gonna stain them. And in case you gotta stain them, you rather stain them than stain them. Talk to me.
Yeah.
What you saying, big dog? So the middle Americans didn't get it. I got it from the beginning, but I had to go somewhere else with it. You already in your mind, I ain't finna stain them, but if I gotta stain them, I'm gonna leave them on it. I get it. So the middle Americans who kind of lost, there it go. Ye did. See, the middle Americans, they get mad at Big Mark because they want to be Big Mark and they don't understand the language and shit like that because I'm talking to my people.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my people. So I have to get certain things out and then I'm gonna circle back so the middle Americans can understand. They don't understand. They want to be with the culture, but they ain't with the culture. You dig what I'm saying? So listen to what I'm saying. I already knew what it was. You know, it's just an insurance policy. But here's the thing, big dog. You going into business with the whole fucked up mind frame.
Yeah.
Everything you doing is to stain a motherfucker. You done stained quite a few motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely try to get this together, but
So now let's get back to this cost, big dog. We ain't done yet. This is great. I like this conversation. This is educational. So we at 700 plus another. How much for the you giving them 700 a month for the line of credit?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot for $3.
Well, that's hey, what's up? I don't have to do that. That's just I do that to be nice. That's all.
So let me ask you this:
But
you do it to be nice. So let me ask you.
It's only 200, but I can give them a little. I just give them a little more.
All right, so how much did you draw down on that initially as while you're paying it back?
3,000. Yeah, because it was at 20, so I took it down to
Oh, who's
took it down to
you
7.
good? You good? Can you talk?
Yeah.
You safe? Is it all right?
Yeah, my lady just came in.
All right.
What's up, love? Yeah.
So we
got
700 for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on a second. I gotta be real quick because I'm about to slide out of here. Hold on a second.
Oh, you can't talk? I get it.
Well, no, you know, with numbers and the winning here, you know, I'm looking here the numbers.
All right.
All right. 1,800 for the insurance, 700 for the truck, 700 for the line of credit, and $270 for parking, and $460 for my car note. So if I do about that comes to about $39.30.
You adding your car note into your cost per mile, big dog?
Oh yeah. I like to do that. That's just something I like to do.
How much is your car note again?
So that $460 a month.
You got like a Kia or something, bro? A Hyundai or something? Bro? That's kind of low, bro.
Well, Japanese shit. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but about 4,000 a month right there, 1,000 a week. Do about 1,200 miles for the week.
Bro, this can't be it.
About $1.20. $1.80.
This can't be it. It's gotta be more, bro. It's gotta be more. You there?
Nah, I'm here.
There's got to be more to this. Yeah, this can't be all your.
As far as you know, like I said, the business expense about 4,000 a month.
Bro, we pretty much there with pretty much shit you gave me, but it has to be more, bro. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. Shit missing, bro. Something very important is missing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What you running this truck on? Vapors or some shit like that? What you just blowing in the fuel tank and it's running off your breath or some shit like that? What are we talking about, big dog?
Well, that's fuel is about 330 miles.
What is this truck running off of, bro?
Yeah, regular diesel.
All right, so
but look, Mark,
what?
Mark, I'm about to ride up out of here though. But look, I appreciate your channel, man. Yo, you keep doing your thing, my guy.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get back. All right, now.
Yes, sir. There you go. Got to asking them that fuel. I'm like, bro, how we forget about the fuel, bro? Man, it's time to go. Yeah. Listen. Okie dokie. The girl came in and he had to go. Listen, that was a great call. Shout out to him, man. Salute to that brother. Even down to the girl coming in. The girl came in, it's time to go. I ain't you putting your girl over the bed. I'm helping you crunch the numbers. She came in loud and shouted. I gotta go. He had to go. That's why he in the situation he in the first place. Y'all letting the bro. Listen, I be telling y'all, I just told y'all earlier. Y'all let the bro run y'all. Y'all let the bro run y'all, bro. A lot of y'all. Listen, that was a great call. All the way down to the end. Like, God just be looking out for the kid. I don't know these people, but I be having these great case studies all the way to the end. When y'all heard her